Hello everybody, I am going to be talking about the Dylan Strome signing. Now before we start, I did want to apologize. I have to do the video in the car again because the house is really busy. But let's talk about Strome. And he signed a 5-year extension with the Washington Capitals. 5 years, $25 million, so $5 million AAV. And he is a guy that is a former 3rd overall pick, 2015 draft, and kind of just struggled to find a home at this point in his career. He was obviously playing in Arizona to start out his career. He was traded to Chicago. A lot of people were hopeful that he would be able to work out there. A lot of prospects that fans were hoping would work out in Chicago that unfortunately didn't. But Strome was paired on the top line for the Hawks just to kind of see what could happen there when they did that. And he had a career year, had 22 goals last season with Chicago before they decided to non-tender him. So after that, you had the Capitals that really felt like maybe they could make a move on him. Now, I can't remember if this was before or after, but you had the Caps player, Nicklas Backstrom, that had hip surgery, and then I'm pretty sure afterwards they picked up Strome. I cannot remember when that hip surgery was, but this could be something that worked out really well for Strome, and you would never want anybody to be injured, but Dylan might have got a lot of more minutes from this. Because without Backstrom, then suddenly Dylan was in a spot too where they're talking about, we have to possibly give a guy minutes that is a little bit experienced that also has some upside. Dylan Strome could be that guy, and that's what their thinking was, or at least part of it. And here we are now talking about his extension. And what exactly are the Capitals going to get out of him? Well, you're going to get a guy that is a playmaker. We look at him, and one thing that you see when you look at his, his game logs, and then you go into more deep dive stuff, is he creates scoring chances by his playmaking, by his passing. And for him, a lot of that value comes off of the power play. He's actually top in the team for primary assists on the power play, and I believe total assists as well. He has 8 primary assists and then 11 total assists on the power play, and then the second most primary assists on the team. And in general, he has 25 assists, so that's good there. So you're going to get a lot of those chances for him with what he provides there, which is on the power play with guys like Alex Ovechkin. And he's played a lot of time with Ovi. In fact, the most time that anybody's played with Strome has been Alex Ovechkin out there on the power play. That means good things. They've outscored teams 26-2 when those two have been out there on the ice. And I think when you're, looking at a guy like Strome, what do you need? You need somebody that, if he's going to be the setup man, if he's going to be able to help a guy get a shot off, who do you want for him to be there? Somebody like Alex Ovechkin, possibly, because we think of Ovi as this primary goal scorer now, and he has been for a long time, but especially now at this point in his career. I was reading an article the other day about Ovechkin. He's a guy that really, on the offensive end, just kind of likes to hang around in his office at this point these days and get that one-timer shot. So for Strome, if he is able to stay on a top power play unit for the Capitals in the coming years, this could be really good for him and the team. 5-1-5, I'm not exactly sure what the future impact looks like for him. I think a lot of this deal is tied to the value he provides on the man advantage. But if he is able to help them out on 5-on-5 play at a high level, then this deal could be really good. What do I think the future looks like for Strome, and do I see it being in Washington? I think a big thing here is what Washington does in the future. You think 5 years from now, Alex Ovechkin, maybe he's out of the league. We really don't know. And a lot of what Washington is doing is tied to Ovi trying to chase the goal record and him having a competent team around. Signing a guy like Strome really does provide commitment for the future for whatever Ovechkin does. And at the end of the day, if Ovi leaves or the team really starts turning bad and then Ovechkin decided to leave another way via trade or something like that, then I'm not exactly sure if Strome would be in Washington. Now, do I think that he could get opportunities elsewhere if he's able to continue to prove himself like he has here in his first year with the Capitals? Absolutely. I think a big thing for the team and himself is if they want him to live up to the value of this deal, they have to give him top power play minutes. And that's just the reality of this situation, especially if he's going to play a lot of time with Ovechkin. You're going to get good results. If you take that away, this is a deal that could sour quickly. He's not a guy that's going to, play a lot of those defensive aspects of the game. And I don't see him a big-time goal scorer. I looked at his stats this year. Yes, he had 22 goals last season, but he shoots a lot of shots down low, and he misses quite a bit down low. He has a shooting percentage of like 12%, but if you look at his shots versus his total shots attempted, he is something like 54% of the shots out of total shots attempted go in on target, whereas the others miss. And if you're going to shoot a lot of shots down low, that's going to be something that you have to work on. So for now, again, I think a big part of this is going to be that power play time. That will decide what we're talking about in 5 years. We're going to talk about him either being a guy that really helped continue on with what Washington's been doing with Ovechkin overall this time. We're going to be talking about him maybe being somewhere else, and then maybe succeeding there, or maybe not. I think that's going to be really tough to say because, again, Washington's in a spot where if they really go downhill, they could go downhill fast. But he's a young guy that they got on money that might not be the end of the world, especially with the cap rising, but we will see. What are your thoughts on this deal? Let me know down below in the comments. I know I mentioned a lot that a lot of the value came off the power play, but it's true. Anyway, please make sure to like this video. If you enjoyed it, subscribe. If you're new, everybody stay safe. Have a great night, and you go love hockey, all right? Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.